Alright, welcome back everybody. Turn 32 of Roots, Bloody Roots. And let's look at the messages. So, as alluded to before, I did a quick peek into evocation. Getting some more money. Found a magic site. What do we find? Corpse Candles Marsh. Appreciate that. They assassinated one of our clowns. And this kind of raiding force moved onto this province. It's kind of interesting move. I mean, my counter raiding force can follow them around and take it back. We'll just see where this all is going to lead. They may press further onto my territory, in which case I'm going to try to cut them off here. Or they may go to the east, in which case I'll try to cut them off here. But either way, their game of cat and mouse is going to end at some point just because, well, I'm going to have more cats. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any aggressive raiders. Like, all of this is happening in my territory, which I don't like. I did burn down this temple. They reconquered that temple. That was this message right here. Kind of interesting move because they only sent in these 3 salamanders, and we can watch this battle. These salamanders, let's just say they weren't doing too great. I don't know why they're all diseased, but they're all diseased. Which doesn't matter because this is just like 1 PD. And so they blow a bunch of gems, making fire elementals. And my troops go, oh god, those are big and flamey. But that's good for me to know, because, well, if fire elementals are what they're doing, then I'm not too worried about that. They've also got this Magma Child. I think this is a national spell that summons this. Magma Child has a strong flame strike with a area of effect 1 armor piercing attack, but again, it's fire, and I have fire resistance, so I'm less worried about that. So yeah, they reconquered their province, but the force that they chose to do so with was kind of an odd one, because I think that if I had stayed there, I would have beaten them. This is where they attacked my castle. They attacked Asphodel over here, so we can actually watch that battle too. It's not a big battle. It looks like Asphodel only had a token force defending. But so they've got this Centaur Hierophant with their fairly unimpressive bless, and just a couple of mannequins. Who's this guy? Crystal Sorceress. That's good to know, mainly because now we know that they have some place to recruit Crystal Sorceresses, which I don't remember if that's that fort up in my area that they got. Meanwhile, Abyssia has some basic swordsmen and some heavy so this was probably a mercenary band, because Abyssia doesn't normally get any sort of archers. So anyway, this makes short work of Asphodel. I'll go ahead and speed this up some. Yeah, Asphodel is summoning this phantasmal warriors, but that's not going to do anything. Alright. One of my provinces has a plague, but because I have plus luck, I actually got a positive event from it, extra tax. And this province makes enough money that extra tax actually means something. Man from the Heavens, Cymbeline, Bad Harvest over here, so that makes up for the other one. Oh well. And then some free money. So overall, can't complain about the events. Some good, some bad. Finishing up this castle here. I've got enough money to build a castle here, but I couldn't actually do anything with more recruitment points, so I'll hold on to my money for now. I'm going to need to build more castles. I'm going to skip site searching this place here just in case Abyssea decides to turn in my direction. I don't think that they will, because they kind of box themselves into a corner by doing that. Like, they leave themselves wide open to a counterattack. But it's an option to consider. Oh yeah, I got an assassination of my own. Let's see that. So this is my mercenary assassin, and this salamander is going to bless himself and try to fireball my assassin, but assassin just runs up and stabs him in the face. So he's definitely earning his keep. I have to decide where to put him. Where does Abyssea think I'm going to put him? Abyssea is probably going to move. Like, they're not going to keep these guys stationary. They're going to either attack me or attack Asphodel. If they attack me, I'm not so worried about it, because next turn I get Alteration 5 and I bust out my secret weapon, and it should be pretty good. If they attack Asphodel, then there's no point in me following them. So either way, there's no point in me following them that direction. So they could also be, I guess that means that Abyssea knows that I'm not going to move this assassin north. These guys, I can't imagine that they're going to keep pushing on into my territory. They've got 3 of them, not 2, but 3 of them against an actual significant amount of PD is going to be a trickier challenge. They could try to reunite these, but they don't get any benefit by doing that. And they could grab this province, but I don't care about this province. So Abyssea probably expects me to move my assassin here, which means Abyssea will plan to, well, patrol him out. So let's move this assassin deeper into Abyssean lands. This scout isn't seeing anything useful there. Alright. My god is going to seek and arrow one of these guys, because it should be able to kill one. And if Abyssea is counting on having 3 salamanders to fuck me with and they only have 2, then I call that a win. I've been tinkering with the script for my commanders here, but it doesn't matter too much, because next turn is when the words are escaping me. When the bone melting comes online. And at that point, I'm going to try for another offensive. So the big thing for me is I'm going to need some siege chaff so that I don't get assassinated a bunch. And I'm going to make sure that I actually still get the research online. So you're casting Pack of Wolf Spiders. You can cast Horned Serpents, I think. Sure. And yeah, Seeking Arrow. I still believe Seeking Arrow is a good move there. So we'll give Ann Perkins the... I thought about summoning some Swamp Drakes. They can do a bunch of poison damage, but again, it just doesn't hit Abyssea hard enough. Ice Drakes, they could put the chill on them, but they're just not numerous enough. So I'm going to stick with the Serpents, try to get basically a critical mass, such that I can, well, siege Abyssea down. These also kind of gum up the battlefield, which means that Abyssea will not just be able to storm forward and get to my mages, which is important because really these guys are just intended to act as a screen while the mages melt everybody's bones. Sounds pretty gruesome. I still need to rename this guy, but he hasn't earned a name yet. These guys are joining up, as discussed previously. An awkward consequence. So actually, I think I should well, I shouldn't cast Seeking Arrow. Seeking Arrow is fun, don't get me wrong, but I shouldn't do it. I should still be able to beat 3 salamanders. Because my guys aren't afraid of fire elementals. So let's have my god actually summon more horned serpents. And what that frees up is whoever has the staff. You can give that to you. Need to make sure that you don't die, so let's give you some bodyguards. And have you do some blessing. Alright, now you are going to summon eagles. This is a national spell that, well, summons sacred eagles. And that gives me 2 things once I alchemize the gems for it. 1, it means I have an aerial dimension in combat. And 2, because they're birds, they have a lot of siege power. So the plan is basically going to be, if Abyssia comes after me, I'm going to melt all their bones. If Abyssia goes into Asphodel, it's Asphodel's problem. If Abyssia turns north, which I guess would be after coming after me, if Abyssia turns north, then I am going to go south and grab this province. And I'm going to scout the area to make sure that there's nothing to stop me. So I guess I should also have somebody scry that. I might lose this guy if he has astrals there, but that's a chance I'm willing to take. But I scry that, and basically Abyssia is going to stretch themselves thin. They've got some tough guys here, some really tough guys here. They've got some tough guys there, but I don't think that they can manufacture a 3rd army in time to defend this province because only their capital can summon those lava warriors. Capital summons 8 per turn, and we're at a little after turn 30. So, ignoring resource limitations, assuming that none of them died, Abyssia could have at most 240 lava warriors. We saw about 80 over here. Looks like they've got a good chunk more here. So, at best, there's an equivalently sized army, which, with me having bone melting online, I should be able to deal with that. I'm counting on a lot from bone melting, but I'm pretty confident this time. Have some guys stuck preaching. Let's go ahead and fix that. People who can research, I want them researching. I can make up for preaching with all of these priests that I'm getting. I do need to actually be getting priests, though. So let's go ahead and grab a few more of those. Oh, that's right. Okay, I'll slow down the priests for right now. That's fine. Research. So right now I'm pivoting back to Conjuration 5. Someone's probably already summoned the Solar Ram. I could get the Ancient Spider. This is a unique guy. Katsuna Dance, however, that's really what I want. And why I want it is because this guy is a solid thug that can go around causing trouble. He has a built-in Vine Shield. He has Nature and Earth, so he can buff himself. He won't stand up to a whole army, but he can do thuggy stuff. And I can easily forge like a Frostbrand and just have him go to town. So the plan will be that I'll get Conjuration 5, and then I'll probably pivot back to Thaumaturgy, but we'll see. Or maybe with Construction. But then I'll summon a couple of those guys, because even with all of these Horned Serpents I'm making, I have a good number of Nature Gems. Speaking of which, Ron does not need to be carrying all of those. I have a good number of Nature Gems, so I can go and use some of them to summon thugs. And my Nature Gem income it's not as good as before because, well, I lost this province. The province actually has more goodies in it than I thought. Abyssia is probably not even going to... I really want to be greedy and grab this province back, but I do need my fort back. Decisions. You can actually switch back to my smite spell just because of the arm negating damage. Oh, it hurts to miss out on... Maybe I should have my god grab it? That's the right answer. This is a job for Leslie. Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and script her. Regen, Large, Mist Form, and Mist Form's going to be super important. Oh, right, and she has a free Nature Gem, so she can cast Swarm. I can actually put Enlarge towards the end. Let's Swarm first, then Mist Form, then Enlarge. Where's Enlarge? Enlarge will give her a good number more HP, which will combo with the regen, so... She has an air gem. Can I use that to good effect? Could make a lesser air elemental. Sure. Yeah. She will grab that province back. There we go. Does mean she's going to be out of commission for a turn, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. It's better than having her just research or cast kind of a basic spell. Research, I'm still getting alteration. That's the key objective for this turn. And I should have a good amount of Siege Chaff to go along with my armies. Alright, so I don't know what happened here. I don't think that there was a battle because I don't have the battle cross swords over it, but I don't know if there was one, I just didn't see it. If so, that's pretty bad because that implies that Abyssia just walked over Asphodel. But one way or another we'll deal. Ariu had a funny story. They had a scout that was going and taking a peek at Satis and seeing what Satis was up to, but it was not an ordinary scout. It was a Puka, which is a demon that Ariu can summon with the Minions Enhanced. Unfortunately, the Puka has multiple forms, one of the forms is a rabbit, and the rabbit summons other rabbits because it's supposed to be like breeding like rabbits or something. Well, so far as I can tell, each of those rabbits then summons more rabbits or something like that. Whatever, the Puka in rabbit form causes the game to crash. Just him being on the battlefield. You can retest this in single player, and boom, crash. This was pretty unfortunate for Satis because this one Puka scout blew up like 160 Satis units, and we were all in the Discord and be like, what the hell happened here? But yeah, that happened. I forgot I need to actually use my units effectively. So let's actually body Ethereal after that. You can break the siege. But anyway, yeah, so the Puka blew up a Satis army, and so far as we can tell, basically anytime the Puka goes into rabbit form, it can just blow up armies by making the game crash. So we've reported that bug there. I think that Aryu's gonna basically get rid of the Puka, but I guess we got shades of Monty Python going on over here. I'm told that there was a battle here, but I can't actually see it. Like, it doesn't show up in my messages, so who knows what happened. But this is a little interesting. I thought that all of this belonged to Jotunheim, but Ryuga-Jo has a foothold here, which means I don't know what Ryuga-Jo's angle is, but if they can keep Jotunheim busy, then that's really good for me. So yeah, just gonna build up a nice siege army here, and my course of action is going to be highly dependent on the Abyssians' course of action, but with my new spell coming online, I'm feeling a lot more confident. I think that I should be able to take out a lot of Abyssians with the bone melting. So let's see if I'm right. We'll see on turn 33.